Hello students, my name is Bernadette N. Cansaran, your teacher for today. So let's talk about limit comparison test. Limit comparison test is a test used to determine a given series if it is divergent or convergent. Here in limit comparison test, we compare a two series which are the a sub n and the b sub n, whether it is convergent or divergent. If limit of a sub n over b sub n where n approaches to infinity is finite and positive, then either both series converge or diverge. Next, if limit of n approaches to infinity is equal to 0 and the series b sub n converge, then a sub n converge as well. So they are both converge. But if the limit n approaches to infinity is equal to infinity, then our series b sub n diverge. Then a sub n diverge as well. So here, both series converge and here, both series diverge. So let's have an example. Series of summation of n is equal to 1 to infinity where 3n minus 1 over n squared plus 1. What do we need to do first to identify if this given series is converge or diverge? First, we need to identify our a sub n and b sub n. So our a sub n is the original. So we have 3n minus 1 over n squared plus 1. And what is our b sub n? Our b sub n here is the leading term. We have the 3n over n squared. By simplifying, we have 3 over n. In n, we have one exponent. In our p series, we have a rule there that if p is less than or equal to 1, therefore it is divergent. But if p is greater than 1, then it is convergent. So our p here or our power here is equal to 1 and p is equal to 1 is divergent. So our b sub n is divergent. Next, since we identified that our b sub n here is divergent, let's now compute for our limit. Limit of 3n minus 1 over n squared plus 1 over our b sub n, which is 3 over n, where n approaches to infinity, is equal to what? We need to multiply the means and extreme. So 3n minus 1 multiplied by n is equal to 3n squared minus n over n squared plus 1 times 3 is equal to 3n squared plus 3. So next what we are going to do? We divide it by what? With n squared. So 3n squared over n squared less n over n squared over 3n squared divided by n squared plus 3 over n squared. So what we need to do again? We need to simplify. N over n divided by n squared is equals to 1 over n, and 1 over n, limit of 1 over n is equal to 0, therefore n over n squared is equal to 0. So we have 3n squared divided by n squared, we have 3, less, we have limit of n over n squared is 0. 3n squared, limit of 3n squared over n squared is 3. Limit of 3 over n squared is 0 again. So we only have 3 over 3 And 3 over 3 is equal to 1. What number our limit falls? Our limit is 1 and 1 is what? 1 is finite and positive number. Therefore, it is fall in number 1. Our limit is finite and positive, and our B sub n or our P series here is divergent. Therefore, it is series diverge. Both series diverge. So, our series here is divergent. So, it is what? Divergent. Divergent. Example is polynomial. So, this is our next example. 3n cubed less 2n squared plus 4 over n raised to 7 less n cubed plus 2. So, our first step again is to write our a sub n and b sub n. So, our a sub n is the original, which is 3n cubed less 2n squared plus 4 over n raised to 7 less n cubed plus 2. And what is our b? B sub n. Subscript ang n natin, ha? Our b sub n is the leading term, which is 3n cubed over n raised to 7. We need to simplify. Ang natira na lang ay 3 over n raised to the 4. So, next step. Our next step is to identify our P series. Our P is equal to 4 and 4 is greater than 1. Therefore, it is convergent. Convergent. Since our B sub n is convergent, next, we need to find its limit. Limit of A sub n over B sub n where n approaches to infinity. So, limit of A sub n, which is 3n cubed less 2n squared plus 4 over n raised to 7 less n cubed plus 2 over our b sub n, which is 3 over n raised to the 4th. Need to multiply the means and extreme. Equals to n raised to the 4 multiplied by 3n cubed less n 2n squared plus 4 is equal to 3 raised to 7 less 2 raised to 6 n raised to 6 plus 4n raised to 4. Next, we have n raised to 7 less n cubed plus 2 multiplied by 3. We have 3n raised to 7 less 3n cubed plus 6. We need to simplify. In simplifying, we need to divide it all terms by n raised to 7. So, we have 3n raised to 7 divided by n raised to 7 less 2n raised to 6 divided by n raised to 7 plus 4n raised to 4 divided by n raised to 7 divided by, again, let's write 3n raised to 7 divided by n raised to 7, 3n cubed divided by n raised to 7 plus 6n raised to 7. So, the limit of 2n raised to 6 and 2n raised to 7 is 0. Same true with 4n raised to 4 and over n raised to 7, 3n cubed over n raised to 7 plus 6 over n raised to 7, their limit are 0. So, we need to find the limit of this. We need to cancel, and ang natira na lang ay 3 over 3, which is equal to 1. So, 1 again is finite and positive number. Therefore, it is convergent. Since our P series equal to 4 and it is convergent, then our both series are convergent. So, it is convergent. And that is how to use the limit comparison test. That's all.